Alright folks, welcome back. This is Balatro every day, and today we could do it. Black deck, one time we could do it. No scaling chips and molds, Zero knows what I like. If you want to have a happy ending too, you can get the seed from the video description, and when you're ready, let's go gold stake black deck. This boss, play 5 cards. Okay. I think we go for the clubs flush. One more time for clubs. Actually, we can play the king high straight instead. I was lucky. I'll take it. This is slightly unlucky. Let's go buffoon pack. Getting worse. So the thing that we want most is an early source of molt. Maybe we could consider a clever joker. I think on the black deck I do like playing 2 pair. I don't think we take the rental here. You could take it and then sell it. You could use the money to buy one of the planet cards in the shop. I think I'm okay with clever joker. Not very strong right now, but all we need is a source of molt. Let's go next. Okay. Clever Joker rewards us for playing 2 pair, but it doesn't necessarily reward us a lot for playing 2 pair. Probably we still go for the flush here. I could play an ace high flush. And then now I'm looking for 2 pairs. So my jacks and 9s, I've discarded 1. I have 5s. Let's try to get 5s and queens here. So now we're down on hearts, so it doesn't make sense to go for the hearts flush. If we get the 2 pair, I think it wins. Could be 2 pair kings and queens. Maybe we do that. In case we get a supernova, we just play the 2 pair here. 2 pair normally like 100 points, and then with Clever Joker twice as much. Cool. Notably they're about, what was it, 280? Okay. Could be strength to help us set up the 2 pair, enable the 2 pair. Maybe. I think I start with the buffoon pack. Could take the swashbuckler. I think as a source of molt is not the best, but maybe on the black deck with 6 joker slots, maybe could be alright. Do I want this strength card? I guess going into the boss here with the extra molt from the swashbuckler, my 2 pair, what would normally be 280 points with 2 extra molt is only 560. So against the boss here, we gotta play 2 hands, but I think that's fine. If I take the strength card here, am I going to have enough money for other stuff? Probably. Probably this is fine to do. Go next. Alright, I have jacks. I probably want to turn 10s into jacks as a long-term plan. Maybe. So, could be a 10 into a jack. Maybe I discard the 9. I guess if I'm going to turn a 10 into a jack, I should keep the 9. Or sorry, I should discard a jack and then keep the 10. I have 2 10s I can turn into 2 jacks. I don't have to do it now, but I think I will do it now just to get it out of the way. And then instead of playing the 4 of a kind or playing the 5 of a kind, let's play, could be a full house, maybe. I don't know, I'm just thinking about if we get a supernova in the future, maybe it doesn't matter there. But we know for sure that the 2 pair doesn't work, or it's like slightly not enough. Okay, so in the next round, if I play the high 2 pair, I get like 550. So do I want something like, oops? Well, this doesn't really give us any points, but it does give us more molt on the swashbuckler, and so maybe it's worth spending a little extra money to get a little extra molt. So if I get plus 2 molt, that's 50% more than my 500 point hand is a 700 point hand, which still doesn't one shot. But maybe I care about that for the next round. I think I'm gonna save the money. We get an extra $1 of interest, and then also I just don't have to spend $4 here. I think the vampire, if it wasn't a rental, I would take it for sure. But because it's a rental, we can't take it. Let's go next. Okay, I have jacks. We no longer have 10s in the deck. So let's try to get... Could be jacks and queens. Full house would be good if maybe we discard and we get another jack or a queen. 6 possible draws. I think I don't want to risk it. I think I just play the queens and jacks here. And then if it takes us 2 hands, then it takes us 2 hands. That's fine. Could be 3s and 4s. So if we had taken the oops, we would have won. Well, the first hand would be 700 and this hand would win. But I think this hand doesn't win because the 4s and the 3s are a little bit too small. I could discard for a different pair, a higher pair. We should probably just play it to be safe. Okay. Oh, I guess I could play the 6s too. Okay. Could be a riffraff. Yes. Now we're cooking. Okay. Greedy Joker, splash. So now I want to keep diamonds. I want to look for jacks. There's no reason to play the flush, I think. Well, maybe Clever Joker's not that powerful. If I play the flush, it gets me halfway there. I think I still go for the 2 pair. So, could be jacks and 4s as a full house. We have Greedy Joker. This almost certainly wins. I guess there's some consideration I could have sold some of these for extra interest. Luchador, I don't need for this boss. Arcana Pack doesn't really make sense for us right now. Saki Busky, probably not. Not typically on gold stake. So, Greedy Joker we can keep. We can get rid of Splash here, I guess. And then, do I want this blank? Normally I would say, okay, you know, we can't afford it, and so maybe we shouldn't do it. But maybe if we have Riffraff, Riffraff is kind of like a money generator, and so we can kind of do it. Sure. Definitely, okay. If we have no money, let's say we make no purchases in the next 3 rounds, is Swashbuckler plus Clever Joker plus Riffraff, is this enough? Are we safe? And I think the answer is yes. Let's go next. Okay. Can I get a jack? Can I get a different jack? Now that we have the business card, I have a strong incentive to try to get a different... I think one more time to try to find the jack. So already the ace high card, the Chad gives us chips. So already the high card plus the Swashbuckler is plenty of points. So we can't lose. And this might even win. Okay. I could play the queen. The queen is not enough, which is kind of sad because then it means I can't get the money here. I gotta play the 2 pair. Bummer. Why my heart's gotta be debuffed. Okay. We did it. Okay, so I want the Hung Man. I want antimatter. If I take the Hung Man, will I still be able to afford antimatter? With business card, probably yes. If I sell Greedy Joker, do we die? Probably we're fine. Do I need these Celestial Packs? Probably not. There's a buzz. So, I mean, there's scaling plus mult there, right? Which is decent. Maybe I don't want to do that since I have a negative business card. Alright, so let's go fish for jacks. Throw away the 10. For sure. Alright. Kings and jacks. I could play high card. With Glutinous Joker, high card should be like 1,000 points maybe. Play high card queen here. I want the money. Okay. Jacks and kings. So 4 and 3 we can hang them. And then look for a 6. So play the face cards. This should be like less than 2,000. Oh. I mean, I'll take it. Okay. So we know in the next round we can get 4,800 if we play the 2 pair twice. That's it. That's easy. Alright, Glutinous Joker we don't need. Ride the bus. We could take antimatter now. We could pick up a dagger as a rental. I think I'm fine with that. So, alright, I want to do riffraff. Let's get in here. So, we want to do dagger on the bus. We want to do probably rocket makes sense here. Maybe we don't need the riffraff, but I'm still gonna do the riffraff. Do something like that. Okay. Splash. That's useful. Alright, so I do need 2 pair. Or I could do 3 jacks and some 7s. I could play this full house and then I can splash the jack. Maybe. So there's no way that this scores 5,000 points, right? Okay. Could be 4 of a kind splashing a queen. Sure. And I don't get to play high card here because high card is too many points. Great. Flash is great. Alright, now we got Hermie. Now we got some momentum. The boss here, face down after played. So I could take a world. I could take it to go. Maybe. 2 Arcana packs here. We should re-roll. To-do list. Alright, so we got Splash off of the riffraff. I think I want to keep the Chad for the business card. I think I want to keep the Rocket for the money. We could ditch the riffraff here, but I kind of like getting the value off the riffraff. So could be one of those. There's Fool for Hermie. Sure, I guess you could make some lucky cards, but I'm okay with Hermie. 3 of a kind, probably not since we have Clever Joker. Arcana we can reroll first. There's a rebate if I want to drop the riffraff here, and maybe I do. For the perishable rebate is probably the correct thing to do. Bummer. Alright. We could go one more. Arcana takes us to 31. Let's go one more. There's riffraff again. I forgot I got a rental. So temperance is 20 bucks. I guess we do that. Do we want to spend $8 on a reel? I'm gonna say no. And the reason is we have the dagger. So what I want is, right now I don't have any joker slots, but the dagger will eat something, and then in the next round we can re-roll. Sometimes the shop has eternals or rentals and you don't have good material for the dagger, and sometimes you have to re-roll a couple times. So let's save our reroll money for the dagger. Let's just go next. Alright, now we're already at plus 14. Rebate on 2s. So we want to play 2 pair as much as possible. Well, 2 pair wins. I guess I don't have to play 2 pair every time. Okay, I have the jacks. I want to know what this is. If it's an ace. It has a chance of its hearts. Do I want to use the world here? If we get another fool, the fool would be temperance, and so maybe that's the reason I don't want to do it. I think I just maybe play the queen here. And that shouldn't be 2,000. Okay. Then we can discard. Okay, and so now we know this has to be a king. And then I know I don't have to use the world card. Alright. Now we got overstock, we got rough gem. Boss says previously played is debuffed, so probably I want the rough gem for the dagger. I don't need this Jupiter card. Bloodstone I don't care about, splash I don't care about, so we can go dagger here. I probably want to reroll a little bit, but not necessarily a lot. If I have Clever Joker, do I want the square as a rental? Maybe it's a little bit too late for a square. I think I'm gonna go one more. Since we have Overstock, we can go one more. There's a death card. Alright. So now do I want a castle is really good with the dagger. I think maybe it's not too late for a castle. If I take the castle here, I probably give up the rocket. We don't need to be doing the rocket and the rebate. Maybe we don't need to be doing the rebate at all. So let's do that, I guess. Take the castle here. I could look inside these booster packs first. Let's go Arcana first. I get a chariot. So that's not something that I really care about. I guess we could make a... Oh. I should have used one of the suit changes because we have the castle. Castle's on spades. Okay, I can save the world for later. We get a blue seal here. It could be a blue seal 10. Is worse than a face card, but maybe good enough. I don't have a lot of jacks. Or I don't have a lot of 10s. I turned my 10s into jacks already. So hold on to the world card. I want to use death on the blue seal is probably what we want to do. Sure. Rebate on 5s, take the castle. Go next. Maybe if you have the blue seal, the castle matters less. And maybe if we have a lot of money, we can get something better than the castle. Castle plus dagger is just such a chill combination. Alright, so rebate on 5s. And we could castle on spades. So I guess jacks plus 8s as 2 pair. Presumably this doesn't score 9,000. Right. And then rebate on 5s. So I can turn all of my... If I turn 5 of diamonds into spades, maybe I go 3 more diamonds here into spades. Right. Okay, and we do have the blue seal in hand, and we do have the 5 here, so I'm thinking... Can I get there with the pair? That's what the question is. I would prefer the pair levels rather than 2 pair. Pair is much easier to do. So let's go discard the 5 first. Okay. I want to copy the 10. I can turn a 2 into a 10. I can play the queens. Instead of the 2 pair, now I have 18 chips on the castle. We do have the Chad here. Okay, and then 2,000 for the jacks. Alright, now we're cooking. So, castle on clubs. Mercury, maybe not yet, in case we find a fool. No Arcana pack. So, Supernova here. Let's go Buffoon. Alright. 6 cents. Todd. I guess Todd. I'm just looking for something to feed the dagger, probably. 8 ball. Supernova. So, we scored 2,000 for a pair there. Go one more. There's a fool for a death card. I could do the death card, but I have to give up one of my Mercuries. Or I could use fool for Mercury. I think I use the fool for death. And then... do we want to keep re-rolling here? I guess if I have a death card, maybe we don't re-roll. And we get another Mercury card. Okay, so I think with this pair level, I feel pretty comfortable. Rebate on 7s, castle on clubs. Alright. Let's play the jacks. For 4,000. Okay. Rebate on 7s. I can discard the clubs. Could be a pair of queens. And then the pair of aces should win. So that's 4-7. I can rebate the 7s. I could play the kings. So how much we need? 4-7. Okay, and then if I do that, it's close. I'm trying to decide whether or not I need the steel card. And the answer is maybe. Alright. So I can turn the 2 into a 10. I could turn 5 of hearts into spades, could be useful. And then play the aces here. This for sure wins. The kings also probably win. I'm just chicken. Alright. Now hold the Mercury cards in case we find another fool. Or we could just use the devil instead. Alright, so... in the wheel. Bummer. Okay. Sorry, what was this boss again? Oh yeah, all my stuff's gonna be debuffed. Castle's on diamonds. I don't need a lucky 4. Buffoon pack, we could take a cola. I don't know if we'll ever use it. For the dagger here, I could take the runner. I could reroll for something else. Could be... I want a constellation. This could be a good time to drop the riffraff, since the riffraff is perishable anyway. Could be riffraff goes here, take a constellation, and then we rely on the business card for money. In that case, we go one more for planet cards. Castle on diamonds. Red card is another good scaling joker. Let's go one more. Midas Mask is pretty good. So it could make sense for us to take Midas Mask instead of the Chad, and then make a bunch of gold cards. That's probably correct. Okay. I want one planet card for the constellation. I am slightly concerned about scoring. Maybe it's fine. Yeah, this should be fine. Okay. So now what? Oh, I shouldn't have gotten rid of the Chad because we have the business card. Oh well. Here's Kings as a pair. Castle on Diamond. I don't know if the diamonds are gonna happen. Maybe let's not worry about that. Let's discard this pair, try to get the jacks. I have the jacks. This pair of jacks might not win. I mean, it's definitely weaker. Maybe it's fine. Okay. You know, I can make a gold 10. I could... Man, this boss is stinky. I could make a glass jack. If I do this, it will win. But we have to drop the Midas Mask here. Too greedy. Oh well. Wonder if there's a different way we could have done that. If we had gotten the extra planets for the constellation, it would have worked. Anyway, here's, I don't know, it could be Blue Joker, it could be Standard Pack. This boss, something about face down cards. I don't think I'm going to take the gold card since I have constellation. I want to get my blue seal value. Could be another blue seal, probably Jack this time would be nice. Alright, I could take a rental for the dagger, which is not great. I could re-roll. Probably that's what we end up doing. So Blue Joker goes there, and then go one more. I could take Sing double as a ×2. Probably the kind of thing that we want to do, even though it's a rental. Alright, so we got Hermie here. Let's go. Judgment gives me Lustful Joker, and then take Seeing double. Now I could, instead of Blue Joker, I could take Mystic Summit. Go one more. Man, Certificate would be good. Too late for that, I guess. Go next. Alright. Pair the sevens. Castle on Hearts. I want to get my business card value. Let's play the sevens. Okay. Yeah, if I have the blue seals, the castle just doesn't matter. So maybe don't worry about it. If I play the kings, they win. So I could play the sixes. If I play the kings for the business card value is worse than just holding the gold card in hand, probably. All right. All right, could be Grimbo. Standard pack. There's a fancy 7. Maybe with the blue seals, a fancy 7 could be useful. Sure. Could be a red seal on the glass card. Okay. Grimbo go next. Alright, castle on hearts. So let's play this pair, which we know doesn't win. And then we can discard hearts. I have the pair of aces wins. That's it. Maybe I should feed the castle to the dagger. Alright, so I have a telescope, which maybe you want for the pair levels, but since we have the blue seals, maybe it doesn't matter. I have an Arcana pack. Let's go Arcana first. Could use Justice, could make more glass jacks. So could be Jack of Spades, sure. And then I don't want the Celestial pack so that we could just save our money, probably. Do I want Wrathful Joker or Blue Joker? Maybe Blue Joker is fine here. Wrathful, it costs more, but you gain more molt. The rentals don't gain as much. But that's okay. Okay, I could play the jacks. Castle on spades. I have so many jacks, I should probably not play these jacks. I can play the queens, which won't get seeing double, but that's okay. I can play this pair of jacks, which won't get seeing double, and that's also okay. And then play the pair of sevens. And we got the blue seal value. All right. All right, this boss discards random cards. Now I have Temperance, so we can look inside the Celestial pack. It doesn't actually matter what we hit. Temperance is fine. I could take an 8-ball. I'm kind of interested in the Tarot Merchant. Alright, could be make another glass card instead of making lucky cards. So currently the glass cards ×2, that's going to be plus 14 molt. Not usually relevant. Alright, Tarot Merchant we can take next time. Let's go next. Alright, I have Castle on Diamonds we said we don't care about. I could play the 3s here. We also don't care about. Let's play the jacks first. Didn't get the business card value, that's fine. The 9s win now, so we can discard for the castle, I guess. Discard the Jack of Diamonds. Actually, yeah, discard the Jack of Diamonds. Play the 9s. Okay. Oh, I'm supposed to not use these right away. Maybe. Probably it's fine. What's in here? Could be another blue seal, I think for sure we take. Could be a burglar. Is pretty good on the black deck. Maybe now we don't need the castle if we already have 220 chips on our pairs. Alright, Hermie, let's go Mars first. Take the 20 bucks. So pick up Burger and then Tarot Merchant. Go next. Okay, I could play a pair of kings. But then we lose the gold cards and then I'm sad. I can play this pair of queens for the money. And this boss discards random cards, that also makes me sad. Oh well. Could be a burnt joker. A little bit late for a burn choker, right? Let's look inside the buffoon pack. This stuff doesn't matter, so I could take a loyalty card here, and that's going to be +2 on the dagger. I could take a burn choker, and that's bigger, if that's something that we care about. Send your Huesos here means we probably can't lose. Am I willing to spend the extra money to grow the dagger? Yeah. Go next. So I could get a pair. I'm gonna play the queen. We have plenty of hands. Pair the 7s. Okay. This boss, diamonds are debuffed. Since we have the constellation, we could take the planet merchant, I guess. Steel 7. Maybe doesn't matter. Not likely to matter. Alright. Get the extra discards and then go next. You could take Neptune there, but we have 2 rentals, so I don't have infinite money. Let's do... I want to get my blue seals, so let's play the 4s here. Right, and then could be queens. Could be 7s. Could be I play high card ace. And then we get another blue seal, so we could play these 7s. Cool. Spectral pack. I should have taken the chariot first. X, we cannot. No Ouija either. Bummer. Chariot, I guess could use it on the red seal. Yeah, once again here, I think I'm not going to buy the planet cards. Let's just go next. Okay. So it could be play the pair of 8s, could be play the pair of 7s. I want to draw a jack. Pair the queens. This should be under. And then we could finish with the jacks. We could try to get another blue seal. And then finish with the jacks. Cool. Alright, free reroll, that's something that I want. Planet Merchant probably doesn't matter at this point. Maybe it's not worth the 10 bucks. Could go gold seal on the queen, maybe? Maybe jumbo standard packs, you shouldn't look. I gotta know. Alright, let's go next. Diamonds are debuffed. So we can play the queen to throw away the jack. Play another queen. Okay. I could play the glass jack. I have more... Let's see here. So if I do that, that's like that much. Right, and then I can play the kings. Sure. Okay. Air levels. This boss is extra large, so Crazy Joker we want. Devil pays for itself, I guess. Maybe it doesn't matter. Let's go next. Okay. Play the sixes. Okay. And then pair the eights. Aces here, and then I think the steel card wins it for us. Cool. Alright, Fool for Mercury at this point is probably fine. We get the extra constellation value. I do want to feed the dagger, and if I want to feed the dagger, I got to reroll once. Maybe. Could be a baseball card. That seems decent. I guess baseball card you don't want to feed into the dagger. So I guess we just go next. Maybe a spin the wheel. I guess my jokers are done, right? So we could open a celestial pack here if we want. Or a Mercury card, and then go next. Alright, how about only one pair, probably. Could play the pair of sevens wins. No, I'm gonna play the pair of kings after drawing my blue seals. I think that's the plan. So let's throw away the queen here. Alright, this pair of jacks, hoping it doesn't win. Ah, beans. Alright. Lovers actually helps us get the seeing double value potentially. Celestial pack, we can take Mars for the constellation value. Standard pack shouldn't matter. Alright. So we want to get the extra hands from the burglar. We want, let's see here. Constellation 4.2. Okay, and then let's put the plus mult on the left. Go next. So how about ace high? How about pair the queens? These are not clubs. I can use lovers here, I guess. There we go. Okay. There's the pair of jacks with the red steel card. Crunchy. How about this pair? All right. Well, this is one of those where if you're playing on the black deck, of course, Riffraff is really good, right? You can spawn in a bunch of jokers. Definitely Riffraff is worse if you already have two Eternals. I think taking Clever Joker made sense at the time to help us survive that first big blind. I think the Swashbuckler also made sense at the time to help us beat that first boss. And the Swashbuckler was able to get up to, you know, plus 10 and then plus 15 early on was pretty good for us. And then we got to, because Swashbuckler and Clever Joker as a combination, not just the Swashbuckler, but being able to have both as a combination was so stable in the early game, we were able to, with the Riffraff, sometimes it gives you Jokers, sometimes you have to keep them. Sometimes you need to use those Jokers to survive. We were able to just basically sell everything off of the Riffraff. We were able to have room for Riffraff and the Chad at the same time as the business card. So having this kind of very stable plus mult and then plus chips, not scaling, kind of. I guess it is scaling if you get the egg or the gift card, but in general, not scaling. Having this as sort of like this early game stability allowed us to be greedier in other ways, allowed us to be a little bit more calculating with the blue seals. You could play 2-pair. Obviously, if you start with Clever Joker, okay, maybe you want to play 2-pair. But the reason why we didn't is because it's just so much easier to get the blue seal value with pairs than it is with 2-pair. Sometimes with 2-pair, you don't draw the 2-pair. And if you only have 3 hands, if you only play 2-pair 2 out of those 3 hands, then you lose. Whereas if you... It's really rare where you're not able to play all 3 pairs. So, you know, recognizing that, okay, once I have enough plus mult on the dagger and the Swashbuckler, I can make that transition. I can start playing level 1 pair and then get the blue seal value and then start snowballing that way. So if you're in a situation where it feels like, okay, well, I don't have really good scaling chips and scaling mult options, the blue seals, that could be the option as a way of scaling a little bit of mult, but mostly it's the chips scaling. But if you have the scaling chips, you don't necessarily need the scaling mult. You don't need both necessarily. Of course, we had Rental Dagger, which is, I mean, at this point, you know, plus 80 mult is more than what you would get from a green Joker or a bus or a red card or something like that. So we had these other plus mult options, which did show up, but they kind of showed up late. Whereas with the dagger, even as a rental, we were able to get pretty big consistently, easily. Definitely easier on the black deck where you have an extra Joker slot. Definitely easier when you get antimatter and you have an extra Joker slot. But we weren't necessarily using all of our Joker slots. Mostly we were using our Joker slots for value generators. Like if you just have Swashbuckler, Clever Joker, Dagger, then you still have 2 Joker slots left over, right? This seeing double wasn't necessarily that important to us. Maybe there's some consideration. I think the one boss, the pillar boss with debuffing our stuff, I think I ultimately misplayed that. Where is it? Yeah, the pillar. I think we could have made the Midas Mask work. Maybe. It would have been greedy. Maybe we would have had to get rid of the Constellation. Constellation ended up being ×4 at the end. ×4 not necessarily from all of the planets in the shop, but ×4 from all of this, right? 30 level pairs, 30 planet cards from the blue seals. That's why the Constellation is getting big. And even with all that, the Constellation wasn't that big. Take care, everyone.